The damn Brady and Lewey show, featuring Ryan,
not Louis.
New Orleans to New York.
I hope you didn't press play because this is really bad.
Good morning, day 8. Piss rain most of the night. Slept on a bed of gravel. Cold, kind of cold, but not too bad. I did finish by saying that I was going to sleep on top of my sleeping bag, but then I got cold, so I got in it and then snuggled up. And what about you boys? How'd you sleep?
Yeah, not too bad. I had my coat as a jacket, blanket to start with, and was doing the same stand on top of the sleeping bag, and then got a bit chilly, so I turned my coat into a pillow and this got inside the sleeping bag.
Yep.
I slept like a baby, cried and shit myself.
But we woke up this morning and it was all pretty wet, but the rain had stopped. We just packed up camp and we're going to go hit a trail, Appalachian Trail. They've said it's 4 miles, or 8 miles total. And they reckon it'll take 4 hours, but we're quietly confident we can knock it over a bit sooner. But we are a bit pressed for time, so
and we're fueled on Ritz. So.
we're fueled on Ritz and
Crackers.
grits. Oh, Ryan made a coffee this morning. I didn't think we had any coffee, and he'd got some tea bags from the hotel room. Coffee tea bag.
They were pods for their coffee machine, but we were in like a tea bag.
And he heated up and he said, "Dan, do you want a coffee?" And I almost kissed him on the mouth.
He actually kissed me below the belt.
I was aiming for the mouth, tripped and fell. But yeah, so anyway, we're on our way. If you do go camping in the Smoky Mountains, it's a good idea to get a tarp. That tarp probably saved us last night.
Or an RV.
And extra rope because all the trees, because the campsites are designated, the trees are too far away.
Yeah.
So you need more rope than you would think.
Yep. Can never have too much rope. Okay. So we're hiking through the mountains at the moment. You can hear the leaves crunching underfoot. Perhaps you can hear the creek. Maybe not, that's pretty quiet. We took a little bit of a detour.
There was a fork in the road. Ryan chose the road that looked less travelled. And it was a road.
He was correct. It was very, very minimally travelled. And we ended up going on what I assume was probably, well, it kind of looks a bit like a trail, but it might have been like a game trail or something.
I think it was at one stage an actual walking path, but it just hasn't been used.
And totally unsigned.
Yeah.
But
it got back. Dan led the way and got us back onto the track we would have been on if we had turned right. So.
yeah, did a big loop and then ended up back on the right track. Almost probably where we started. And now we're doing this hike to a deep creek, what is it?
Deepwater Creek?
Deepwater Creek, Deep Creek Horse Trail.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Something like that. It's a deep creek and horses can ride along it. So,
Yeah.
Although we have not seen a deep creek, they've been very shallow. So.
And we also haven't seen a horse. Oh, but we just saw some people.
Suggest.
Braids, anything to say?
I've bought my camera, so the reward for finding our dead bodies is you get some nice photos.
So we're just in the car, Ryan and I. Brady's going to get a photo. I pulled up, I'm not sure where we're, how you describe.
Some sort of visitor stop on the Blue Ridge Parkway.
Which is high in the mountains. It's cold. It's dropped down to 40, what was it, 42?
44 or something, yeah.
44
See,
degrees Fahrenheit.
It's become very cloudy. We're in the clouds now.
We're in the clouds. It's cold. We saw some ice or snow on the ground.
42 outside Fahrenheit.
And the road's closed. So we're doing the Blue Ridge Parkway. Our aim was to do the entire thing, but it's we just come to a bit that's closed, and then we talked to some guys, and they said that a state trooper just drove up there to check whether it's possible for us to do it. And he said he'll be back in 15, so we're just waiting.
We'll just remind you that yesterday the park ranger said there was a large section closed, and then looked up on his phone and said, "Oh, it's all open again." and like he checked at lunchtime that day.
Yeah.
And so it literally just opened up. So hopefully this is just they do this check and open it up, but we'll just see what happens.
Yeah. Although I'm thinking, if it is closed, it might help us in terms of travel time, because it's quite a long drive, and we're just working out how soon we're going to be able to make it back, or make it to Washington. And the problem is that we can't get any maps to say how far it is, and the phone services are minimal. And then so I think we'll be okay. We're definitely camping tonight. We're probably camping tomorrow night, and man, I hope it's hot. So I just worked out that 42 degrees Fahrenheit is 5.5 degrees Celsius. And you can hear that. Brady just got back in the car. Brady, would you describe the conditions?
Cold.
Man, a few words.
In the toilet.
What
a surprise.
Other updates
So what's in the
from
toilet?
our hike?
Oh, no, it's still gone.
Other updates from our hike. We finished that. Walked up to a cemetery, which was fairly
Oh,
disappointing.
do not go to the cemetery. What a hike that was.
But by that stage, we were just like, we'll go to the next. We weren't quite sure whether it was a loop or back round. We kept going along the track and found couple of nice waterfalls. Confirmed that we basically decided it must be a loop because there was a lot of fresh looking faces coming off the track.
People that didn't do what we did, which was to go off the track.
Yeah.
But the cemetery was a hike to get up there, and there was just 3 little graves.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. There was nothing special.
And no view.
Same family too.
So anyway, then made it back down to the park. Had a nice lunch of
Turkey sandies, baby.
Yep.
Turkey sandwiches.
And then
On the river.
Got on the road and just outside of Cherokee, everyone was pulling up and slowing down and was trying to work out what's going on. And then there's an elk.
An elk.
I think it must be a female elk because it didn't have any horns. I assume elks have horns or antlers of some sort.
Probably, yeah.
But it was still very impressive. I must have crossed the road and then it was just walking along the side by the time we got to it.
But I got a quick picture just in time. But yeah, they're pretty big as well. Like you definitely don't want to hit it.
Yep. And then from there, that was just before we started on the Blue Ridge Parkway, and then we're making pretty good time, having fun driving. I think Brady's got a lot of nice shots from it. I'm just seeing what's the go. Hopefully we can continue on a little bit, but we'll work something out.
Our plan is to keep going until we see like a campground, and then we're going to pull in there and set up camp for the night. Which it's 5 o'clock now. And our aim was to pull up around 5:30. So and we haven't seen a campground
Really?
sign for a while. So that must mean that there's one coming up soon, right?
Hopefully.
Probably. So anyway, we'll figure it out. But
Also,
here we
I'd
go.
like to clarify something for the podcast. That when we were in Nashville, having listened to the recordings back now, the girl was 25, not 45. He was 20 our age and a drummer. Not
He was definitely
45
talking
and
to some
however you
40-year-olds.
described it.
He was definitely talking to some 40-year-olds at one point.
50, I thought. It was funny. We were
They were
listening.
Well, whatever.
And
you
we were
feel
their
like
best
that.
friend. Because we hated the bass guitarist at the first place. It
Right.
looked like he was going to shoot the joint up.
Don't say that in America.
Well, that's what it looked like.
Brady has no recollection of the last part of our last podcast
I was
of-
sleeping.
because he was passed out, and then all he hears as we're listening to it in the car, and he says, "Oh, these slaps don't sound very soft," which they were. I was slapping your tummy and stuff as well, but I did put my finger in your belly button.
Although I did wake up feeling pretty fresh, so.
Also, Brady's got a new addiction, which is saltines. You can hear him opening the packet now. He loves them. Loves saltines. That was I just watched Ryan sniff one of his socks. That was real brave. Because
I was hoping those ones had dried out in the car, but they're still a bit damp and not smelling nice.
Yeah. Are you okay? You're gonna pass out.
Fine.
All right, so we'll call it there. Hopefully, we'll get back on the road. Either way, we need to.
The car is
Work it out.
fogging up with us sitting in here as well.
Well, it's better than the alternative, which is at fridge temperature. Alright. Alright, so we've made it back to Asheville. The road was closed. We didn't see the trooper come back, but we decided that it was probably closed and it's not worth doing
We
it.
assume he's alive though.
We also confirmed it on their website once we got back to Asheville.
Turns out it's closed. If not there, then a little bit further, and if not there, a little bit further. And we were planning on just driving until we saw a campsite, and it turns out they're all closed as well.
Yep.
So it was a great call, and we come back. We got a motel room, but not too bad a price.
Not too bad. It's warm. There's a shower.
We're not sleeping on the floor tonight.
Nice decor.
There is gravel outside though, if we change our minds. We just chilled, got back, decided to skip the Blue Ridge Parkway because there's too many closures. It's too cold and wet, so we're going to do a bit of highway driving before heading to the Skyline Drive where we'll camp before Washington the following night. So there you go. We come back, just had some dinner, went to a Chili's restaurant. I'd seen a lot of ads for them, and I was really impressed.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
It was Mexican inspired. I
think it was Tex-Mex,
Tex-Mex.
like
I had some quesadillas.
Texas Mexes.
I'm a real fan of quesadillas.
I think they're
Quesadillas.
Quesadilla.
quesadilla.
Whatever.
Pretty
they are,
good though.
They float my goat.
They do. He was into them. And they have bottomless corn chips, tortilla chips, which we only got through 2 containers worth.
So it's probably a bag of chips per bowl though.
Yeah,
They didn't half-ass it.
they did not.
They did not
And we got through them.
I
Had that.
tipped well.
Had a burger.
I was impressed.
I had a burger. So Raz, the burgers are pretty good.
Yep.
Forgot
I'll
to
have it.
forgot to tell them how much to cook it,
Oh,
and they only cooked it
Medium rare.
medium.
Probably medium. Probably a little bit rarer. than medium
Apparently,
Wasn't too bad.
Fully cooked burgers aren't a thing.
So, but anyway, got that down. That was good. And then, but I asked them because I got a nut allergy. They've got a bloody little tablet set up at the table. It has all the allergens on there. If you want to reorder drinks, you can do it there. You can do all this stuff. It has trivia, games, all sorts of other crap. We didn't do any of that stuff, but it has it there. So high tech.
Distract
number one.
the kids.
Distract the kids. Genius. There was also, we ordered a couple of beers served in glasses. Really impressed with that. Because we got water in plastic mugs, and I thought if the beer comes out in a plastic mug, I'm going to be
Dancing
pretty
boys are
unimpressed.
You can also use the tablet to reorder beers if you want as well.
You
shit. And
can
check for nut allergies.
check for nut allergies. So, all in all, a good end to a long day driving, but we've had a good one. Pretty good. Brady's cracking the shits at my computer.
Keep saying the connection's not secure. I'm just trying to contact my bank to tell them not to cancel the card or suspend the card. It's just not working for me.
There you go. Do you boys have anything to add to the conclusion?
No.
It's definitely colder.
No,
Outside.
it's not. Yeah, it's dropped a bit.
It's not raining.
It's starting to get a bit chilly. Tomorrow it's going to be cold overnight. We're planning on camping again. It's going to be cold overnight, but it's not meant to rain all day tomorrow.
Plus,
So-
we know it's going to be cold, so I think we'll be better prepared.
Yeah, I think
Don't quote me surprised.
with the sun and all day, hopefully we'll have a dry campsite when we get to it.
Yeah,
Can
dry
actually get
firewood.
Fire.
Gee, that'd be good if we could get the fire going and camp kind of close to it. Imagine that.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be good?
it would be.
Have like a bit of hot coals.
Yep.
We put them in the
And-
tent.
Yeah, and then it's going to get down to about
Like one of those
4
hot rock messages.
Celsius, 4 Celsius overnight, but it's a little bit lower than our sleeping bags are rating for. But I think with the 3 of us, all
Snuggle
wearing-
buddies.
and all wearing clothes, we'll be fine.
What's our view on the Fahrenheit system?
Bad.
Bullshit. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Same as the miles and inches and feet.
Ludicrous.
How many feet to a mile, Brady?
It's like 5,800 and... I'm going to say 32. I'd Google it, but apparently we're not secure enough to Google that information.
Well, 5,280. Good try.
Oh, I thought it had 8s and 2, isn't it?
You would be correct. But what a stupid number. So anyway, I don't know who's measuring things in this. And I can't get my head around it still. But in any event, it's all happening. It's all going on. And we're
Kicking goals.
kicking goals. Everyone's having a great time. But we are knacked. So I think that's the end of it for now. Until we meet again.
Which won't be till tomorrow because we're going to have a good night's sleep, not have to do a podcast in the cold and the rain.
Part of the adventure.
Adversity.
Adversity. So we just sat around the fire. The end of Saturday night, Easter Saturday. We've got a campsite in Shenandoah National Park, just off the Skyline Drive. It's our only podcast for today, because not really much has happened. We got up, had some breakfast. The guy was watching Law and Order SVU in the morning, 7 o'clock. A little early for my taste to be watching some sort of murder case.
Already got hooked.
Oh, I was into it by the end, but when I first got in, I was like, oh, this is a bit heavy. And had some breakfast, got on the road, drove all day on the 81 highway to Waynesboro. We stopped for some lunch at a park. If you're wondering why I'm the only one talking, we're roasting some marshmallows, making some s'mores at the campfire.
And our mouths are stuck shut.
Everyone's mouth is stuck shut. A s'more, if you may not know, is a graham cracker, which I'm going to say is a bit like a digestive. One of those wheat.
Yeah, I think they're a bit sweeter if you eat them.
Bit sweeter.
These are honey graham crackers.
Honey
The
graham
ones you mentioned.
And marshmallow and a Hershey chocolate bar, all of which are nut free. Mum, if you're listening, if you're worried. Oh gee. And we bought them from, this place is amazing. We got this campsite in the national park. It was $25 to get into the national park to drive the road, and then $15 for a site. But the site's good. You can have a fire and everything, so we got that going. We got the tent up, got a tarp up over the tent. It's not going to rain, but it is pretty cold. I don't know, the car temperature says it's 10 degrees. I reckon it's probably a bit lower.
It's meant to get down to 4 tonight.
It's meant to get down to 4, so I imagine there'll be a bit of dew on the ground. So the tarp should help with that.
We didn't have to camp. If we didn't have a marked out camp, we just have to camp near our parking lot and our fire pit,
Yeah.
which means we're not on a gravel.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We're on like a nice mossy patch, so should be a bit more comfy. But there's a store here, a little general store thing that had lots of stuff. Had all the stuff for the graham crackers. They had some beers. They had everything. It was really kitted out. And then the toilet.
Had wine.
I had wine, everything. And it had like a spare tent if you forgot your tent to go camping. Had all sorts of shit.
Steak.
And
Oh, you should put that all on one stick.
and then we came.
Does anyone else want another spoon?
Nah, I'm good.
Sugar it out.
The toilets here have got hot water
For your hands.
for your hands, and then you can pay the coin operated shower.
They have
Some rest-
washing machines as well.
There's a laundry apparently, yeah.
There's
all sorts of
also
shit.
privately owned or owned by a private company cabins that you can rent. They're the same guys that run the same company that runs the general store.
Characters. Larrikins.
Larrikin tried to scare us with bear stories, and we were like, "Oh, you reckon we'll see one?" I think we were a little bit too keen. He was trying to sort of scare us off, and I was like, "Oh, do you reckon we'll get one?" Ryan's just about to roast half a packet of marshmallows on one stick. They all got stuck together, so we'll see how this goes. Pretty flammable marshmallows, I would say.
Yeah. Instant diabetes, that one he's going to have.
Oh, he's going to be sick, yeah.
Actually,
What
probably
else
gonna
happened today?
fall off the stick.
Nothing
I'm
really
still
happened
up
today.
working
We
on
just drove all day, and then we had turkey sandwiches.
Fun with Megan.
Oh, that's right. So Megan called Ryan, so Megan's wife. You might remember from the intro to the podcast.
Not
She-
too happy about that.
She's not happy about it, and she said that we're not allowed to have her on any more episodes because she's coming off as a nag. Which,
is it-
I mean, what are you going to do? But anyway,
So we've dedicated this.
I mean, she called us to nag us about it. Like, that's what she was doing when she called us and nagged about us making it look like a nag.
So it turns out she's been monitoring my credit card activity so she can keep track of us.
So how are you doing, right?
So that's apparently so she can find out where we are. But
New Orleans.
so we told her that I was still in New Orleans and Jan and Brady had just continued on the road trip.
Alone.
Which is true.
Yeah.
If you're listening to me.
Yeah. And then we told her that he wasn't coming back for an extra couple of days. It's their first year wedding anniversary on the 6th.
Yeah.
And we're planning to be back on the 3rd, but I told her that the roads were all closed and we weren't going to be back until the 7th. And she got furious, made me put Ryan back on the phone. And then Ryan said, all right, well, I'll see you later. Love you. See you on the 10th. Oh, good. So she's furious. But, I mean, she's not. She's really happy, easygoing, laid back. Definitely not nagging us in any way. What else? I mean, we stopped for lunch and had turkey sandwiches. Brady was desperate for a piss and had to go on a little hike. And as soon as he left, I looked at the sign and realised that the place he was going to didn't have a trail to it, and it was about a K or so away.
But had some secluded bushes.
And he found some bushes and made peace there. And that was a bit of amusement, but that's pretty much it. I mean, can you guys?
Well, you guys went under the walking.
Oh, we're
Thank you very
totally.
much. I waited and then I pissed off the side of the mountain.
He did into the wind.
To the side of the wind.
At great-
And down the mountain.
A great risk.
Would you say better than on an incline?
Yeah.
Oh,
The
I had a
incline-
good incline, don't worry about that.
Got to be careful with inclines because it'll run back to your feet.
You got to dance while you we and dance.
But
I'm always
no.
dancing.
Good drive, got some photos. Got to the campsite around 4:15.
The earliest
Yeah.
we've done so far.
Which
And
turns
this is
out to be a good decision.
Probably the latest it's been light as well, which is good. But we took a little bit to set up and get everything sorted. But we took
The
our
sun
time.
was still out too, so we could draw everything
Yeah.
from
But heaps of wood around, dry for a change, so the fire was pretty easy. Pine cones.
Pine cones.
Pine
Really?
cones, greatest fire starters ever. They will light with a match and they will take off with a buzz.
Ryan's diabetes sticks just caught fire.
They take off with a
Gee, it
buzz.
smells good though.
Burn quick and fast, so they're good, really good at lighting. A bit more substantial wood. So if you're ever stuck and there's a pine cone around, that is what you want as your kindling.
Oh yeah, I think they're just full of oil. It's good though.
Yeah, got set up. Brady dried out everything from the last camp.
Yeah, pretty wet.
A lot of drawing.
And then he also got some good photos of the moon and stuff. The moon went bright red at sunset. So
The sign of death.
yeah,
I don't know.
Blood moon.
We seen the nice stars.
Red at night,
Clear
Shepherd's
night.
Delight, mate.
Shepherd's Delight.
No rain tomorrow.
is that what it means?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Well, if it rhymes, it must be true.
Red in the morning, Shepherd's Warning. Red at night, Shepherd's Delight.
Fantastic.
What about red at night, shepherd's plight, and then that's bad?
That's not what the saying is.
Yeah, but it rhymes, so it must be true.
The other one rhymes as well.
Do you want to give us a
They
food?
can't both be true.
What about this one? Ryan's lion. So that rhymes as well.
Do you want to give us a review on your diabetes stick?
Oh yeah.
It's good.
He's about 2 mouthfuls into about, I'm going to say 200 marshmallows. And he's eaten the crust of the outside, he has to put it back on.
That's what I like about the toasted marshmallow. The nice, crispy bit of char on it. That's what I
bit
want.
of dirt from where you dropped the stick.
Mate, I haven't dropped the stick. Unlike
Oh
you.
really? Knock it. Don't tempt me.
Unlike Brady, whose toasted marshmallow on his graham cracker fell over onto the cement.
Oh no. I dropped my chocolate in the dirt.
Yeah. So.
But it wasn't melted yet, so it was...
Mine only had mineral rocks in it. So.
He did eat a rock though. He did, at one point went, oh, I just had a rock. But yeah, I mean that's it. We're in for a cold night, but everyone's got a lot of layers on. I think it's going to be all right.
Warmer than. Actually, I don't think we were cold last time. We were just wet.
I was a bit wet.
Wet.
I think
and
the wet made us a bit cold.
Wet made us.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But yeah, I think we should be all right. So I'm actually looking forward to it. And that was it. We had a
Yeah.
guy, the camp manager guy here come around and had a word to us and just said, make sure you quiet hours are between 10 and 6, which I don't think we've been awake since past 10 unless we were out in a pub. the whole trip.
Really? Yeah, it's only
We've got ages. It's 9:15, so we've got another 45 minutes to make an absolute ruckus. Ryan crying out in pain as his chest
And his teeth fall out.
his teeth fall out, and he has a heart attack. But make sure you get it done before 10 o'clock, mate. Otherwise you're in trouble. A lot of people with dogs,
Yeah, heaps of dogs up here.
which is good. I like that. That's it. That's all we have for you. So tomorrow's another day. We're going to finish the Skyline Drive.
There you go.
Probably be in Washington tomorrow. Or definitely. Unless
Maybe check out some caves.
check out some caves. We might do a little
Caves.
bit of a walk around tomorrow.
Get some sweet rocks.
And then, yeah, that's it. So, leave it at that. Brad, do you want to sign us off? No, I'll take it as a no.
Prefer your other sign off.
Okay, Ryan can do the sign off.
Shepherd's
Red at night, Shepherd's delight. Red in the morning, Shepherd's warning.
Perfect.
Get 'em-
Okay, welcome to the end of, I'm going to say, day 10. We just camped last night in the Shenandoah National Park off Skyline Drive at Lost, what was it called? Lost Mountain?
Yeah, I think that's it.
yeah.
Something
Something like that.
And we,
Not lost though. We found.
I don't think it was called Lost, it was called something else. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We,
It'll be on the previous podcast.
maybe, yeah. We had a good dinner. We only had one podcast yesterday because it was
A lot of driving.
A lot of driving.
Did we explain dinner in the last podcast?
I don't reckon we did, but let's walk them through it.
I
Did
think. I can't remember. We can always edit this out.
Well,
No, I'm definitely not
Did-
editing. It's staying.
we had a garlic and
Rosemary?
rosemary couscous, a bed of garden and rosemary couscous. Garlic and rosemary from the garden. Couscous.
Okay.
With a nice fried, roasted,
Sauteed.
pan fried, sautéed
sort of
from the garden also.
Campfire, cold cooked. You got to get all the
Just
adjectives.
garlic and onions sauteed
Garlic and
on
onions.
the camp.
cooked
Alpine.
on the coals of a pine
Cones.
pine cones.
Many pine cones.
Anyway, so we had
some
and
chili.
some chili that was covered in a tin. It was bloody good too.
Yeah, it's
Buffalo
pretty good.
chicken,
Buffalo chicken style.
chili with beans.
Yep.
And some saltinis on top.
Saltines,
garnish, a saltine.
which are like a
Salada. Very
Salada.
similar to a salada.
Have you ever had the premium biscuits? It's those, but snapped into already, pre-snapped, in the same size as a salada box.
Anyway, moving on from that, it was
You know.
bloody cold. Oh, we had s'mores as well.
Yeah, we had a couple of beers.
S'mores. I
finished
reckon
them
we've
off,
talked about
finished
this
them
actually. I
all.
remember.
Ah, we have, because Ryan's teeth fell out.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. While I was cooking the vagina.
Well, we do
marshmallow.
apologise, but anyway, his teeth are still in today. So it was really cold. It was really cold. We were on a slight incline, or our feet decline, I guess, with our feet down. I didn't sleep too well. I don't know about you guys.
I slept okay. It was the coldest night we've
It was
been.
cold, man.
Even though
Windy.
I,
Wind chill.
Not
yeah,
good.
I didn't think it'd be too bad because we weren't wet this time. I thought we would, and we were rugged up a little more and dry, but it was still the coldest night. And I think the main problem was that,
We bought summer sleeping bags.
well, yeah, it was 5 degrees lower than our sleeping bags are rated. But I think the issue was that the tent,
Yeah,
there was nowhere to like.
it was coming up under the fly
Yeah,
and through the.
there was nowhere
mesh.
to actually seal it off, so it was
No.
just going. The wind was just coming straight into the mesh, so the tent didn't retain any warmth,
Hmm.
and the ground was still very cold.
But anyway, we got up. We had started a fire and then had some toast, bit of coffee that was full of coffee grinds because I accidentally tore a bit of the tea bag, and then it just got worse and worse.
Just how the coffee gods intended.
Yeah, it's what they wanted. And then
Toasted it up, some food.
had that, and then we just hit the road again. Saw a lot of screw. Oh, I saw
Oh.
a bloody hawk or something pick a.
Buzzard.
Oh, you don't want to talk about the trail first?
Oh yeah, we did a trail. We did a hike. I've peaked early. I'm sorry.
Appalachian Trail.
We did the the Bear
Entire
Fence
thing.
Summit.
1,000th of it.
Did
1,972 miles and done.
yeah, we did the Bear Fence Summit, which was
a good little. We did the actual trail rather than the loop. The loop
Yeah.
was just a section of the Appalachian Trail, so it was an actual walking track.
Yeah.
Section we did runs parallel to it and then comes back down the Appalachian Trail, but the section that runs parallel to it is not a walking track so much as what they call a scramble.
A rock scramble, yeah. So
So
we got
up
some
and down,
elevation though. Was good.
doing a bit of climbing, really good views, much better views than there would have been on the Appalachian Trail. And views of
Well,
both,
I don't want to speak for the
for
entire
that
Appalachian
section.
Trail. Don't
So
say
for the bare
if you haven't got 4 months to do the Appalachian Trail,
Of the
just
point,
do this.
of the point 2 we did of the
for the
1972
bare fence
miles.
loop compared to the bare fence scramble
Yeah,
far
it was
better.
better.
Because you're actually on the top of that ridgeline and there's not really a lot of trees, so you're seeing out both sides.
Yeah, and there's
Quite
no
impressive.
fencing at all. Like, I'm surprised. I don't know. Like, it
They
seems
did-
moderately unsafe.
They did give a warning for people that were afraid of heights and probably don't do
Yeah,
this.
but I mean, it doesn't matter if you might not be afraid of heights, but if you slip off, you're still
Mm.
dead. Like, anyway, but we made it, and that was pretty good.
Got back on the road.
Got back on the road, saw a bloody hawk pick up a dead squirrel off the thing.
Squirrels were being very ballsy.
Oh,
Kind of like the magpies in Australia that
Yeah.
just sit in the center on the center line and just watch cars go past. Except some of these squirrels were sitting in the middle of the lane and were just like, he's not going to hit me.
Mm.
Ballsy
And
squirrels.
they were very lucky I didn't. One of them wasn't so lucky with someone else.
Hmm.
And hawk or
Buzzard.
buzzard, we're calling it a buzzard.
Turkey.
I think it
Some
was a
sort of
hawk.
bird of prey, I
And-
would say.
Anyway,
It definitely wasn't a turkey.
decided it would pick it up. So they were in the middle of the road as we came past, and so
Pretty cool.
we didn't get a photo of it, but they took off, and there was two there, and one of them grabbed the squirrel to flew off with, so it was pretty cool, but obviously a bit too quick for us to get a photo.
And then we finished the Skyline Drive, went to the Skyline Caverns, which was an underground cavern.
Just a
pretty
cavern, yeah.
much. They had a lot of lights in there, and it was
Yeah.
pretty interesting. Pretty interesting thing. They were talking about the discovery of it. They found
The
some
vacuum?
yeah, like a vacuum thing. So the guy was digging with his shovel, and the shovel got stuck, and it took 3 men to pull it out.
4 guys pulling on a rope to pull this
To pull the shovel out, and they had a big pop like a shotgun, and apparently it was a vacuum sealed cavern that, like, there's hardly there was
Natural
like 3,
vacuums are a super rare
yeah,
sort
there's
of
like
thing.
3 or 4 others in the world that have ever been discovered, and they found it, and then inside were these like crystal structures, which was the first discovery of the crystal structures. They're called
Yeah.
anthrodytes,
And that one,
and they look like Kal-El's. Have you ever seen Superman? They
yeah,
look a bit like a small version of that.
yeah, and yeah, that's the first of 3 sites in the world that have been found of
Mm.
those crystal structures.
There's one in Tennessee and one in France, I think.
Yeah, I think that was the 2.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. And yeah, apparently no one has a confirmed theory. Like, there's not even like a close to confirmed theory of how they form, because they form differently to other crystal
Yeah.
structures. So that was really interesting.
Yeah, really cool.
And then they gave some other facts about some creatures that had only been found there.
The the
Beetle.
Valentine beetle
Yeah.
is what it was, and they're a blind beetle that have only. What happened was the guy took a water sample, saw some grit in the bottom, thought, oh, it's just a bit of dirt or whatever. Got it back to the lab, realised it was a little beetle, one that they'd never seen before. It was born without eyes, and it was they had 7 of them there.
Dead by the time.
And they were dead. They reckoned that because they were not used to the light, as soon as they brought them up to the surface, they died immediately. And then they went, they named them, the Latin name, but also the Valentine beetle. And then they went back down to find some more. Spent 20 years, never found them again.
Yeah.
So they took in 45 minutes. They discovered, named, and destroyed an entire species of beetle. Not bad.
So yeah, they're pretty interesting caves.
Mm.
The guide was pretty knowledgeable as well.
Pretty cool.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure it's all a recorded spiel, but yeah, it was good.
And then we drove on to Washington DC, where we are now. We've briefly seen some monuments from the road, but we're going to go and check them out tomorrow. But it's a pretty quiet one because we had a pretty poor sleep really, and a lot of stuff on today. So
Gonna go to the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum, see some planes
Braid's hanging.
and a space shuttle.
We did.
Dan's
We
gonna lick it.
we did the hike quite quickly. We powered through it.
It was recommended to take an hour, and we did it in 40 minutes plus all the time. That includes the time that we were stopping for photos and whatnot.
No bears though.
Bear
No
free.
bears.
Yeah, no bears, unfortunately.
Bear free since '93. I saw one in '92.
Oh.
Wow, there.
So anyway, that's it. So now we're at a nice Airbnb, and I think we're gonna.
That'll probably be it.
That's it. I mean, we haven't. It's it sounds light on, but we'll remember to do some more tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow I think will be a big one.
No bears, no dice.
That's the sign off.
That's the sign off. It was the sign off. Now you've ruined it.
Can I just say that he leaned all the way in preparation, and it was no bears, no dice. Money shot. You want to try and one up that one?
No.
Do you want to just say it again?
No bears, no dice.
Nice.